Really in disbelief that Pete Maravich is dead. The shocking news coming in and people still with the long faces and really just stunned at the news.
8 months after being inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Indeed, it seems still too surreal to believe, but Pete Maravich is dead at the age of 40. Pistol Pete died Tuesday morning of a heart attack in Pasadena, California, stricken while playing a pickup basketball game in a local church. Moments after this home video was shot, Maravich collapsed on the court. It's apparent that he's going through this game just about half speed. Just before collapsing, Maravich turned to a companion and said, "I feel really good." Efforts to revive him failed. He was pronounced dead just after 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. His death is a stunner, a shock to the system that leaves anyone who follows sport reaching for his private memories of a unique athlete. Just say the name Maravich or the nickname Pistol Pete, and the mind's eye recalls the flying hair, the floppy socks, the incredible moves. He was box office, and he was a metaphor for what the sport of basketball can be.
I threw a behind-the-back bounce pass during a junior varsity game between a defender's legs. I looked around and I saw the fans and how excited they really got, and that was back in 1959. And I just saw the excitement of entertainment that you could bring to people and that they would really enjoy that. And so I wanted that. It was like a drug inducement to me, and that's the way I'd learned the game anyway.
Pete Maravich was the greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, possessed of skills that now seem decades ahead of their time.
The game itself today is that type of game. It's a game of spectacular moves and spectacular plays.
He was coached by his father, Press Maravich, at LSU. From the early years, Press instilled in his son the need to be different, innovative on the court.
He was a great thinker. In other words, I used to talk to him about conceptualizing in basketball. He has to ask me, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "You have to think 1, 2, maybe 3 patterns ahead of time what's going to happen. You got to see things that's going to happen in the future in basketball, in the next minute or two."
Pete's NBA career was, to some, a disappointment. He was an all-star 5 times with mediocre ball clubs.
Through the times that I had playing pro basketball, which were very bad times, you know, you either win or you lose. So it's a flesh-peddling business, and I know that I went through a lot of adversity, but through that adversity, I grew up a great deal.
First with the Atlanta Hawks, then the New Orleans Jazz, Maravich rolled up great numbers. He won the 1977 scoring title and then finished his career as a bit player with the Celtics in 1980. Maravich was often searching for a meaning in his life. He tried a variety of religions, had a great interest in UFOs for a while. But 5.5 years ago, he became a born-again Christian.
It's changed my life dramatically. I can't explain it to people. I'm not out to make the world Christian at all, any more than I can make them a Corvette. But I can only speak from my shoes and let them know that the joy and peace that I have today is greater than the happiness and rewards that the world offers.
That faith bolstered him last year when his father died after a long fight with cancer, just after Pete was elected to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
It's really an honor that I really never dreamt of. My goals were lower than that because it looked like unreachable as far as I was concerned when I was growing up.
That was at the NBA Legends game in Seattle 11 months ago. Maravich played in several of these old-timers games, and at a quick glance was still game fit, the magic intact, if only in short bursts. This game was the last competitive one Maravich played until this morning. When he came to Springfield to join the roster of immortals, he spoke of his father.
My dad was really my hero. I mean, he influenced me so greatly in my life, and he influenced me until the day he died.
On the day the Jazz retired Pete's number, Press was asked about his son's legacy.
That he was good for the kids, that he was a good idol if that's what they wanted in those days. And I feel that as long as they can remember him for that, and not so much for his basketball showmanship or anything else, I think Pete would be very happy to be remembered in that aspect.
We were very, very, very close, and I think that's good. I think a father and son should be that close. I think the heroes today should be the fathers. They should not be some athlete. You can admire athletes, you can admire rock stars, you can admire people, but it should be the fathers that are the heroes of kids today. And I think most kids like to be like their fathers.